Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host, Sam, and we are back again with another one. So, Chelsea just dropped points playing against Newcastle at the Newcastle Stadium. And what was really interesting about today's game is how Chelsea were playing, considering how they played against Liverpool and looking at what we saw today. We only saw some hints of what they did against Liverpool in the second half. The first half, actually, Newcastle were in control. And also something that happened which was different. I think Newcastle strike force was the key in terms of helping the midfield to stop anything that the Chelsea midfield was going to do going forward. And also Nicholas Jackson getting himself sent off actually went exactly to hurt another player, and I think it was a clear red card. Click the like button, subscribe to connect. Let me know where you're watching us from. So Chelsea had the opportunity to create that gap between the rest of the world and them as they are trying to fight for those Champions League positions. Now they are into risk. If Forest win against Leicester City, that Forest might actually take over and take that position and be ahead. So there is that fear in the minds of all the Chelsea fans looking at how now the league looks like, looking at everything that is happening. But it could not have actually gone that way, because as we look at those opportunities, it was an opportunity for them to create that gap in between. And I think that the way they approached the game, the first half, the early goal from Newcastle might have been a problem because they just gave more confidence to Newcastle and more danger to Chelsea. They tried to come back from the game, tried to play so well. Moises Caicedo playing at that right back, and of course, what's his name? The one Romeo Lavia playing in that midfield. By the way, who made the error for the first goal, which was scored by Tonali. Yes, all of those things which played really not in Chelsea's favor caused them to lose this game. Cole Palmer tried to reignite the light we foresaw in the game against Liverpool, tried to reignite and create something so that maybe it could cause chaos going forward. But every single thing that they were creating just could not land at the back of where they wanted to go. They just could not get the betterment of what they were expecting as a team. But as you look at the game as an overall whole, I think Newcastle deserved to win. I think Newcastle did everything right. Their strike force, players like Barnes, Jacob Murphy, everyone, they were playing a part in terms of their attacking. They were a threat every single time they were going on the Chelsea side. If it wasn't so many moments, individual moments where Moises Caicedo had to fight with the strike force to get the ball, or maybe last minute defense from what's his name? The number 6 defender of Chelsea. His name is out of my head. Those were the moments that helped and actually kept Chelsea in the game. And I felt like at some point, if Newcastle were not overthinking it at the finishing touch of finishing the opportunity, this could have been more than a 2-0 game, because everything just showed that there was an opportunity to take advantage of that. And it was a good game at the end. Looking at the game, it was a good game for Chelsea because they did show some signs of coming back. The substitutions of putting Reece James at the right back, putting Moises Caicedo in the midfield to help out the midfield and going forward, it helped the team and it made actually the game even more entertaining and exciting. As much as because we saw that one-on-one individual battle of Anthony Gordon and Reece James, as well as Jacob Murphy versus Kukurea. Those were some of the battles we'll talk about, because both midfielders and both defenders and strikers, they were pushing themselves to the very end. They were trying to test themselves. They were fighting everything that they could, and it was exciting to watch. And now that they started to feel the pressure, Chelsea. They overcommitted. They tried to do so much. They were making errors, taking out unnecessary yellow free kicks, trying by means to come back in the game so that they don't give an opportunity to, like for example, the team that is a serious threat to them is Nottingham Forest in those Champions League positions. Those errors, those mistakes are what at the end I felt like it costed them. It led them to not actually take advantages of the opportunity that they had. And now at the end, we are here talking about how they lost the game. The last goal was scored in the last minute. It was scored by Bruno Guimaraes. A nice goal, by the way. It was hit. I think it had a deflection, but they just went too high that the goalkeeper Sanchez could not reach to that ball. And all of those things just played a part to make this entertaining game come to a very end. Now the problem is this: Chelsea looking at how the league is looking at how things are going, like things are not really going according to plan, because they need to be in the Champions League positions. No matter what happened, no matter how you look at it, they need to be in the Champions League positions because of the money that they've used, because of them being at a risk of financial fair plays and all the things that they've done. So now things are not on their side. They now have to hope that a Leicester team that is in the relegation, which has been relegated, has to fight for them against Nottingham Forest so that they remain in those positions, as well as they keep winning their games. Now knowing that Jackson is out, the other player who plays that position in Kunku is out because he is injured. Now they have to rely on other players who are going to be moved from their basic or good positions, which they offer more, to try and at least try to get something. And that is going to be exciting to see. That is going to be amazing to see what happens. I cannot wait to see where the game goes from here, but it's going to be challenging for Chelsea. It's going to be challenging. This game, for example, against Newcastle, it was supposed to be that game that they put their footprint to show that they are building something amazing. They are building something that can go forward and actually be exciting, going to where the things can actually go. But now they did not take the advantage. They did not take the opportunity. Now it's looking them first straight in the eyes, and they have to have questions which are asked, and they have to give answers. I cannot wait to see what happens, but what I want to hear from you is, where did you see this game from, and what did you enjoy, and which are the opportunities which you saw which maybe I missed? One thing I can tell you, I enjoyed really, for example, Bruno Guimaraes, who was really dealing so much with this guy from Argentina. What's his name? Enzo Fernandez. The battles, the duels that they were fighting. And also, actually, I was about to go out without talking about. We also need to talk about Dan Burn, because I think it was his man of the match performance in terms of last minute ditch defending, last minute helping the team, trying to push the ball, progressing and doing so much in helping the team. All of those things, they just work together to give this amazing game to have a direction. So let me know your thoughts, where you're watching us from and what you thought of the game. Click the like button, subscribe to Connect, and don't forget, you can always find more videos from the Football Connect here. I'm out. Like the video and subscribe to Connect. We're out. Peace. Subscribe to the Connect.